Scotland just had one of their best ever performances, but in this video we're going to be going over how we think each player played. We're going to be going over the Scotland player ratings versus England. Let's get right into it. At number 1, Nathan Macbeth. I've gone for a 5 out of 10. I thought he was quite poor at scrum time, and this will be an important issue to solve for Scotland going forward. I think into this competition, they need a strong scrum, especially when they're going to go up against the likes of a France and Ireland later on as well. But the work he did around the park was quite good. It was quite decent, and you'll be happy with his contributions around the park, but not at scrum time. At number 2, George Turner. I've gone for a 7 out of 10. He didn't miss a single line-out throw, and he really worked well around the park. I think he does the unseen hard work really well. Struggled at scrum time, but he didn't really get much help from his two props either. Number 3, Xander Fagerson. I've gone for a 5.5 out of 10. I thought he was also really poor at scrum time, and this should be his bread and butter. I mean, he will still have some tough scrum battles ahead in the coming games, especially if you look down the line throughout the year as well. You still have the All Blacks, you still have South Africa, you still have Argentina. But he made a few dominant tackles, which does help his score. But for me personally, I just can't give a prop a really good score if they struggled at scrum time. It should be their bread and butter. Number 4, Gregor Brown. I've gone for an 8 out of 10. I thought he solidified his place in the starting lineup going forward, making tackle after tackle. And he probably won't get as much praise as he deserves because he does the unseen dirty work really well. Number 5, Scott Cummings. I've gone for an 8 out of 10 as well. Both the locks played really well for Scotland, and he had an incredible bounce back from his previous week's performance against Italy. He got through a huge workload with 18 tackles. Having two locks that do the unseen hard work really well just makes Scotland a much better team all around. It has a much bigger impact than people might think. These guys making these big tackles, hitting these rucks hard, making these dominant carries, it helps down the line as well. It has a big ripple effect throughout the team. It allows the backline to do what they need to do. It allows more space. It allows the guys to play quicker. So having two locks that played that well makes a big impact every time. Number 6, Jamie Ritchie. I've gone for a 6.5 out of 10. Unfortunately, he was subbed off due to injury. I really do love watching him play for Scotland. He's an awesome player. He had a walkover try, which was set up by an awesome pass from Sione Tuipulotu, but he gave up quite a few penalties within a short amount of time. His performance was a bit of a mixed bag, but I believe with more game time and more time in the field, he would have had an absolutely awesome performance because it looked like it was trending towards that. At number 7, Rory Dodge. I've gone for an 8 out of 10. Once again, a player that does the dirty work and the unseen work very well. And in my opinion, he is one of Scotland's most important and underrated players. I think he made 17 tackles. He got a turnover and was the forward that got the most gain line dominance of all the other forwards in the team. And for a guy that's not the biggest, that's pretty big for a guy like him. So he had a massive performance. 8 out of 10. Could probably go higher, but I think there's some other players on this list that have some really near perfect performances. Number 8, Jack Dempsey. I've gone for a 7 out of 10 for Jack Dempsey. He played his role very well, and I'm not going to give him any higher because for Jack Dempsey, I am comparing him against his previous performances like the All Blacks game last year. Last week against Italy was still quite good as well, and other games he played in previous seasons and previous months before this. So although his physicality really did help Scotland and get them on the front foot, I do believe he is the best player in the Scotland forward pack. So for him, I'm judging him against performances I've seen before. So 7 out of 10 for Jack Dempsey. I think he was still good, but apparently he's going to miss this week's game coming against Wales. So it's going to be very interesting to see who they do select. I will be doing a video who I think Scotland will select after this. It might come out later today, so any Scotland fans, keep an eye out for that one. Number 9, Ben White. I've gone for an 8 out of 10. He combined really well with Finn Russell to steer Scotland's team to a very dominant victory over England. His service from the base was crisp, and I mean, he makes some really good passes. He's quick, he gets the ball out really quick, and that really helps his team, the Scotland team, with their style of play. They like playing fast, they like spreading the ball out wide, and I mean, he even scored a try to add to it. So 8 out of 10 for Ben White. He had a very good game, and he combines really well with Finn Russell. Number 10, Finn Russell. I've gone for a 9.5 out of 10. I thought Finn Russell was at his best this weekend. The only question now is, can he do it every single game going forward? If the players around him do play the way they did against England, then it's very possible. I mean, the one thing I think Finn did very well was he used all his bag of tricks. He kept England's defence guessing at all times and even backed his footwork and running ability multiple times, which I think he's kind of moved away from in recent months and recent games. So I was really happy to see that. I think his kicking variations, his passing variations, and his running variations kept England on the back foot, and they didn't know what to expect and they didn't know what was coming next. So I think Finn Russell had a really good game, and this was probably one of his best performances I've ever seen from him in a Scotland jersey. I mean, the little tap pass he gave as well was awesome to set up a try for Hugh Jones. So a 9.5, it could be a 10. I don't know if I can give a 10 yet. I don't know if I've even given a 10 on this channel. So I think a 10 will have to be for a really big performance. But I mean, that was a really big performance, but that was a 9.5 out of 10. As near perfect as it probably gets. Now, number 11, Jamie Dobie. I've gone for a 7 out of 10. I think reselecting Jamie Dobie turned out to be a great choice. The better conditions allowed him to show off his talent and evading ability. I think he had some really key moments that had a really positive ripple effect throughout the Scotland team in the first half. The question is, if the Scotland team is considerably changed against Wales next week, where will he play? Well, I just read something that apparently he might not even be available for Wales. So the video I'll be doing later, deciding who they might pick, who they should pick, it's going to be quite interesting. I mean, you have the likes of Darcy Graham, Blair Kinghorn, Don van der Merwe. Who's going to take that spot next week? I guess we'll have to find out. Number 12, Sione Tuipulotu. I've gone for a 7.5 out of 10. He played his role very well, and I think he gave an incredible wide pass to Jamie Ritchie, which he could basically have just walked over the line from. That was a really good pass. I mean, the skill set it takes to get that thing out as quick as he did, as far as he did, as flat as he did, that was absolutely awesome. The one thing I have to commend him on is Sione Tuipulotu really led from the front. He led by example this week, and that's something a captain should always be doing. So I think he played his role as captain very well. Number 13, Hugh Jones. I've gone for a 9 out of 10. Hugh Jones will forever be one of my favourite players. I mean, I used to watch him play for UCT, the University of Cape Town in South Africa. I used to watch him play for the Stormers when I used to live in South Africa as a kid. But he's come a long way. He's honestly come a long way. He is the best number 13 in the Six Nations currently, and he honestly played like it against England. I mean, he is the best 13 right now currently, especially out of the British and Irish Lions teams. And I think he really deserved that number 13 jersey last year. And he just come such a long way. And I think he made tackles all over. He was a nightmare for England's defence. And he scored 2 really good tries. So I think this was Hugh Jones at his very best. I think I could have gone for a 9.5, but I think Finn Russell was just 0.5 better. But I mean, both were phenomenal. Number 14, Kyle Steyn. I've gone for an 8.5 out of 10. This is one of Kyle Steyn's best performances for Scotland. He was a continuous running threat and he showcased his sidestepping ability nearly every single time he touched the ball. He beat defenders for fun. Steyn was the best wing on the day, and I think he's easily right now Scotland's number 1 choice wing. He's come such a long way as well. A few years ago he was like 3rd choice, 4th choice. He'll always play against like USA or Romania, but now he is the number 1 choice at wing and he's really playing like it. I mean, I think him being the captain at Glasgow and playing amongst a really successful team like that's really helped him as well. He can kind of express how he really wants to play. He can play his style of rugby, and I used to think his style of rugby was more like a, I don't know, more of a, he'll run over players, but he's actually really good. He's got a really good sidestepping ability, and he's really impressed me recently. Number 15, Tom Jordan. I've gone for a 7.5 out of 10. Just like Jamie Dobie, I think reselecting him was a very smart decision from Townsend. He bounced back well this game and he was solid in the backfield. He held his composure well and he won the kick battle more often than not against a really good kicking side in England. So that would be a really big positive for him going forward. And I thought he played really well. His composure stood out. And I'd like to see him get more game time now. After last week, I was kind of calling for him to maybe get dropped because I didn't really know that much about him. But after last week, I see what maybe some other Scotland fans do see as a neutral. So yeah, he's a really good player and I think he'll be one to watch going forward. Number 16, Dave Cherry. I've gone for a 6 out of 10. He played his role very well off the bench and he finished the game off well. So 6 out of 10 for him. Number 17, Piers Skuman. For Piers Skuman, I've gone for a 6.5 out of 10. He added some value at scrum time and eventually won a scrum penalty of his own. I think it feels weird not seeing him starting, but especially knowing that he is one of Scotland's best scrummagers. I do expect him to start going forward, but I think he's a very key part of this team, and I don't know, I think starting him against bigger teams might help, especially with Scotland that are a team that like to start quick. They maybe don't end games as strong. That could be a reason why they kept him on the bench. I don't know. I think justifying his decision on the bench could probably be the fact that Scotland do want to end games as strong as they start games. That could be one of the reasons. Number 18, Elliot Miller-Mills. I've gone for a 6 out of 10. Performed better than Ferguson at scrum time, and he had a solid performance from the bench. So 6 out of 10 for him. Number 19, I've gone for Max Williamson. I've gone for a 6 out of 10. He did his job well. He didn't make any negative impact off the bench, and I thought he actually added quite decent value off the bench. I think if there are injuries, he's a good guy to start, but he's also a good guy to have on the bench. He's got experience and he can add a bit of value, especially in the second half when you might need it at set piece or at line out time. Number 20, Matt Ferguson. I've gone for a 7 out of 10. He replaced Jamie Ritchie after he went off due to an injury quite early on, but he made an instant impact. He blocked George Ford's drop goal attempt, which really helped seal the deal for Scotland, and I think Matt Ferguson Judging by the injuries they have in the team right now, will probably be in the starting lineup next week. He's a very good player, and I think in the loose forward, Scotland have quite good depth, to be honest. I think they really are strong there. Number 21, George Horn. I've gone for a 6.5 out of 10. He made some good decisions. He had some crisp service. And I think this solidifies his role, his key role off the bench for Scotland. I think he's one of the guys that's got a really key role off the bench. If you think of like the Springboks or the way England have been before this game, the guys on the bench know their role. They know how long they're going to play. They can come on and always make an impact. I think George Horn's the perfect guy for that role, to kind of play off the bench like a Grant Williams for South Africa. I think that's quite a good comparison for him. Number 22, Adam Hastings. Can't really give him a score. He only played 5 minutes, but I would like to see him possibly get a start against Wales next week, because the good thing for Scotland against the likes of Wales is they can maybe give guys that haven't been getting as much game time some game time and some opportunities, because getting those guys ready, giving them game time will just help them if there is an injury to slot in, or if something drastic does happen, that they can just slot in easily. So I think that's probably what they should do going into next week, but I would still probably have like a Finn Russell on the bench just as cover. Number 23, Darcy Graham. I've gone for a 6.5 out of 10. He beat a few defenders, he made a try-saving tackle, and he had a really good cameo from the bench. I probably could give him a 7, but a 6.5 just seems fair. I think he might be rewarded with the start alongside a few other players next week, and I think he deserves it. I think there's a lot of guys right now that have been playing on the bench that haven't been getting game time that will probably get a lot more game time next week against Wales. This is no disrespect to Wales. I just think guys keeping some guys fresh and allowing some of the Glasgow players that have played a lot of rugby recently to maybe just sit out 1 week or play off the bench 1 week might really help them going forward, especially when it comes to managing your players and these types of tournaments going forward, especially if you think about player welfare for these guys playing in the URC after this. It's important to keep them fresh, make sure they don't overdo it, don't get overuse injuries as well. When players start playing a lot, you get a lot of tendon injuries, a lot of niggles and stuff that just show up out of the blue. It might not even be contact injuries. So every time you probably can get a chance to rest some of your key players that have been playing a lot of rugby, I think it's important. So I will be doing a video based on who I think Scotland will select for Wales. Spoiler alert, I do think it's going to be a very changed team. It could also be the exact same team, but I do think it will be a very changed team. But I think it's going to be an exciting one. There are a few injuries, so we'll get right into that right after this. That video will come out later today. But if you guys do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.